There.
Okay. Hello. We had some technical difficulties. What was it?
Keep going.
When was the last week? I can't remember. Anyways, I drink a little bit.
We're good. I got it.
And so we had to record again because the other one was blank.
It was mute. I find it kind of
mute.
odd.
I said blank.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. We recorded roughly about, I don't know, like 20 something or so minutes of content. Real good content, but so we're going to run it back again. And we have tested again to really make sure that we got it. So yeah, we're good to go.
It's a mistake we should not make again.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So today it's going to be how to express your sexual desires to your partner or partners. Because some of us get down like that. Ain't nothing wrong with a little extra.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when I start conversations, I have learned to always open and close with a positive thing. So it'd be like, you do this very well, or you use your mouth very well. I want to add a finger up this orifice. And then it was
No.
Wait. I didn't get to close with a positive. But I really like when you suck on my toes or something like that. I'm not a foot person, but I'm just saying because some people are. Nothing wrong with that.
You eat coochie very well.
Oh my God, the baby's in the room.
Your pecker man is below average.
Oh Lord!
But you know how to work it real good.
Hey.
Whatever, I guess.
Yeah, sometimes everybody not blessed like
that.
All
right, but this can be a very uncomfortable conversation, and it can be kind of touchy because people are hypersensitive about their superficial appearance, the things that they what they bring into the table, whether it's derrieres for women, large breasts, penises for men. I mean, like these things are, now mind you, this isn't the end all be all when it comes to a sex life. But these
because women are more, because women too, we worry about weight and size.
That's true.
And fupas, but just remember, it lay down when she lay down. Meaning, if she got a gut, it's gonna lay down when she lay down. Hell. So
these things are touchy things, and with your performance or lack thereof in a bedroom, it can be real. It can be a real tough conversation, and so it's in you and your partner's best interest to try to be as open and understanding as possible when you're dealing with these conversations. So.
I forgot to introduce us. We are Mars and Venus,
or Venus and Mars, since you're kind of leading the day.
Yeah, I mean, they can,
yeah, Venus and Mars,
that'll work too.
But okay, so without further ado, you have some high points that you wanted to.
Well, I did my first one.
Okay, well, my first one would be open to learning.
Oh, that's a good one. I think everybody can learn, because every partner is different. Men are kind of men are kind of black. They're just so it's either black or white.
So here's a problem.
Okay, well,
and it's a problem with us. A problem with us is and you can go into your.
Are you saying men?
No, I can say us. Like when we were dating. You think you're doing something a certain way. You think you're pleasing a certain way. And if you're not told, hey, you got to go to the left a little bit or go to the right a little bit, yes. All you're going on are you just reading cues, whatever those cues are. And if you're not getting anything that's negative, then you think you're doing something right. Meanwhile, that woman or that man is like, yeah, I prefer it this way. Or so now you got to be careful when you're doing these things in the act.
I would say
you gotta be careful.
I would say don't do it in the act because
it depends on how you say it.
Well, if you do
in
it
what you're doing.
Yeah, because you do it in the act and somebody slip a finger up somewhere.
Well, no, I ain't talking about that. I'm not talking
okay.
about. I'm not talking about adding extra things. I'm talking like, say, for instance, like say for you, a woman. Matter of fact, it ain't gotta be a woman. A partner is giving another man oral or fellatio.
Mm-hmm.
Some men like only the head.
Yeah.
Some men like the head and the shaft. Yeah. Those are the things I'm talking about that you can talk about real time as opposed to outside of the bedroom. Even though I do think the better or more in-depth conversation is to be had outside of the bedroom, because that way it's kind of difficult to really do that while you're trying to in act. It's on a few things you can. It's tweaks you can do in the act.
Maybe you should ask.
Like, it's tweaks
during the session. I think the person giving could always ask, am I doing this correctly? What would you like? More pressure, more left, more right, more hand, more mouth. So I think you need to be open to doing those things too.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's just my 2 cents.
Okay. So what's the other one? What's the next one?
The one you went, don't surprise. Don't be in the middle of an act.
Okay.
And then surprise somebody. You want to put a toe up somebody somewhere, and they may not like that. You need to really communicate. And one thing that irritates me about, I would say adults, because we are adults, what have you. If you're having sex, you need to be able to talk about sex. If you feel like, oh, I feel funny talk about sex with them, you don't need to be having sex with nobody but yourself.
And I find it so, and beyond even the conversation, like, you can't be prude when it comes to having sex. And I might totally be off base with this. I believe that women are more prude than men. I might totally be off base.
Okay.
So you're trying to say you think men are more prude than women?
Some men definitely are. I think it just depends on the person for sure.
So you don't think, generally speaking, between men and women, you don't think women are more prude than men, or you think men are more prude than women? I've
heard men say more, I don't give oral.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, and not even just from partners that they wasn't my partners, because that's just a no for me.
Yeah.
But from people that are my friends, and I'll say, well, they need their butt whooped because we grown. They still a kid.
I'd be interested to understand what's the reasoning behind it, because some people think that's nasty, or that's
sex
yucky.
Is nasty. It is what it is. It's nasty.
Well, I mean, look, if that person is speaking from a place to where they're virgin and never had kids, then yeah, that's a valid opinion. But if you had kids, you can't. I mean, if you had kids and you fornicated having kids, and like you indulged in this nastiness, so it's kind of, you're looking like a hypocrite if you got a bunch of crumb snatchers running around here. But nonetheless, when I was mentioning the first one, I actually mentioned the second one that I had. Be more open outside of the bedroom as opposed to the inside of the bedroom. You can do minor tweaking in the bedroom, but to do this overall revamping of a technique, that's a hard thing to do. You can talk about a lot of it outside of the bedroom, and then find the sweet spot while you're doing it. But yeah, those types of conversations need to be conveyed outside the bedroom as opposed to inside. Or hey, bedroom, car, floor,
don't matter,
van, it's whatever.
Right.
The act.
Yes.
Outside the act. Like, comment, subscribe, by the way.
Yes. And don't complain. I would say suggest and guide, because when you complain, it comes off really like the person is defensive. Is it complaining? Or no, I'm saying you can be that. You can complain. Well, I never get out.
Mm-hmm.
I never get out. I don't want to. So it's complaining, but then you need to tell your partner what you would like and how to do it. Some people just can't do it. It is what it is. It might not be a person for you.
Mm-hmm.
So, sex ain't everything. You get older and
old people you say that, but you have more people actually in this time and age, and maybe it's because it's just a generational thing. You're starting to see more and more people having sex at a later age, I'm not trying to disclose any information. Like if you ask me about my parents, I'm going to say no.
Oh God, please.
But they're totally different generation than us. Like, but the generation behind them, I'm going to say, yeah, they still get it popping.
Yeah, I mean, the nursing homes, I know for sure they do.
I'm just saying. So I want to say, our parents' generation, they were cut off to where they were like, well, you know, me and Susie, yeah, we going, you know, we're living our lives, but you know, no, it's like that black and white TV where they got
my
two.
mother.
They got
not
two.
My mother.
No. I'm
and
saying,
not my dad.
No. What I mean is like, well, I'm talking about our parents are like that generation when you watch TV.
Your parents are. My parents are not. Your parents are older than my parents.
I get that. But guess what? But when we have our conversations, there's a lot of overlap in how they view the world, how they move. So it wouldn't shock me at all if the bedroom is included in how they move. That's what I mean. When we have these conversations, you'd be like, dang, you know, your mom moves just like my mom.
I mean, our mothers are really like, they move like they're 30-year-old women.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about
my mom.
I'm talking about some of their antics.
Oh, well, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Antics, right? So
don't let us get too far.
Yeah. We're getting off.
Right.
But yeah, the what I just mentioned was to be more open outside the bedroom than inside the bedroom, because you can get more depth in those conversations when you're just sitting down and you're just bouncing thoughts off of one another.
But we're not saying if you're not open to doing something, don't feel like you have to do it. You can say no at any moment during sex, even if it's mid-stroke. I want to make sure that I say that. Even if it's mid-stroke, too bad. It is what it is. You can say no at any time if you don't feel comfortable with something. And then if it's something like illegal, report that.
You know what?
Damn it.
As a man, I hear what you're saying, and what you're saying is right, but damn it, I don't like that.
Well, too bad.
Like that shit.
Too bad. No is a complete sentence.
I'm about 5 strokes away from shooting the cannon.
Too bad. I'm gonna.
And you be like, no, like really?
Yeah.
But yeah, that
is it. But you shouldn't make your partner feel uncomfortable again.
That's true. Yeah.
If you say no, you say no, and no is a complete sentence. You don't need to explain not a damn thing.
Is there any other? Things you gotta highlight?
Yeah, I said be clear, be open. Don't just be like, oh no, you don't know if you like that. You might like something like that. You might want to try.
Mm-hmm.
Again, long as it's not illegal, long as it's not hurting anyone too. And so just be open, and again, you can say, no, I don't want to do that. I didn't enjoy that. I just don't want to do it. So those things. And then my last one was you make it fun, and you guys can go to the what do they call them? It was like a sex store, but I don't know what they got here.
What they call it, like
adult
stores. Like exotic stores, or like adult novelty stores.
Yeah, that's better. You can get
those terms,
right? Well, you can get movies online.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but some of those things, if you want to try them, you could try some of those things that you see in the movie,
mm-hmm.
or you can get, your lingerie or toys. Just, make it fun. Sex is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be enjoyable for everybody too. For everybody. I'll say everybody. Okay, so we want to shift topics.
So here's a question that I have for you, and it's indirectly related to this. So let's just say, just rolling out a scenario. Let's just say you're well within this sexual experience of two people, and you're just bang it out like whenever you see each other, like the males, your pants get tighter every time you be around each other.
Ooh.
Life experiences happen.
Absolutely.
Life changes happen.
Absolutely.
So let's just say one of the individuals are looking to go back to school or do something to better themselves that's going to disrupt this process. Because let's call it what it is. When you, let's just say, okay, let me back up real quick. Let me paint this a little bit better. Let's just say you're in a relationship now. This isn't this mingling. You're in a relationship now. You've moved in together. You're still at this cadence of this high sex thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of these people are saying, hey, you know, or the conversation has been happening about going back to school or aspiring to do something else to better the household, to better you too, to better your family, life goals experience, and these things going to affect this sex life. How do you go about that? And I might be framing the question wrong, and if I'm framing the question wrong, please.
So what you're just saying is that you might not be having 4 times a day. Well, who has time for that when you work? Or 5 times a week. It might go down to 1 time a week.
No, it might not even be that. Let's just say you work full time. Now you got 2 kids and you're going back to get your doctorate. I don't know. I don't know how much free time you're going to have.
Well, you got 5 minutes.
I know a few people. That's true.
You got to take a shower.
I know a few people that have gotten their doctorate and it takes a lot of time. Now, mind you, a lot of these people, they do take breaks and while they get it. So it might take them several years to get it, and they'll periodically take a few months off every now and then just to reset. But even with that, this thing is going to disrupt the routine of your household, no matter what that routine is.
Yeah.
You know, soccer practice, Bible study,
sex?
Whatever the case. Yes, it disrupts everything in the household.
But you're referring to sex right now.
That yes, sex part.
So I mean, I'm a different person. So for me, it's just like, okay, because you're trying to better our family, then it is what it is. It just disrupts that. I mean, it's a short time frame when you consider if you're even in your 30s. How many years is that? 8 years? 7 to 8 years?
7 to 8 years for what?
Like you have school, and then you have residency. And so I think
it varies.
I think about 7 to 8 years. So it's a small time frame when I think about it.
All right. So how would you feel if you're aspiring to do all of these things to make your family better,
right?
But your partner is perfectly content with status quo? Okay, so how does this conversation go if you say, like, I'm trying to do these things and I need help because I'm gonna have to allocate so much time to do this. Like, you're going to have to help out with the kids. You're going to have to. I can't take them to soccer practice. It's going to be some bath times I'm going to be able to do. It's going to be some bath times I'm not going to be able to do. Our sex life is going to be inconsistent at best.
Right.
Like, what if that person is resistant to that, or in this situation you're more so having to do all these things and still pull the load?
Again, I'm a different person, but just me, of course. I'm not gonna always, because I feel like you're not benefiting the family. Like you're not being a partner or a mate. You're not doing that. You're hurting me if you don't want to do those things. For me, when my first marriage, that was it. Like, I was done. You want to stay status quo, and I want more, but I got to keep towing you, and I'm a little boat already, and I keep towing this big old boat. I'm not doing that. I can do, like, it really true. I can do bad by myself. And so that was and towing that person for 10 years. It gets.
So what do you say about the individuals who you see they're making milestones in their life, and they got this big family that is constantly growing, and their mate is just perfectly content? And mind you, this component has nothing to do with sex. This is This is like one individual. You can see, and the other person, either you choose to just or you refuse not to see the drive and the aspirations in this individual, and they're being ran into the ground.
Like physically. Like,
well, physically. You're working full time. You're going to school full time. You're the taxi cab of the house. And everything in between. And this in particular, this is more so talking about the male component.
Yeah.
And the female component acts like they are oblivious to their spouse doing all this stuff. Is that husband wrong for being like, you know what?
No.
F this, like, I'm done.
Because you can't assume somebody knows something. Doesn't matter if they're your partner, best friend, or whatever. You can't assume that somebody knows something. You just can't do that. Did the other person sit down and say, I am struggling right now. I need for you to help me out. And okay, you know me, I tell somebody 3 times, and the 3rd time I'm done. I'm not gonna tell you a 4th time. That's just how I do stuff. So if I told them that 3 times and I communicated my needs and my wants, and you don't do it, you might not be the person for me, and that's okay.
Okay, well, so what do you do in those situations where you know, like, I don't know what the percentage. I don't know what the percentage of people who stay married due to circumstance, but what do you? So yeah, well, so what do you do in a situation where you have several kids that are dependent upon you, and these circumstances are there, and if you leave that oh my God, I'm trying to find the right words. Those, it's you damned if you do, you damned if you don't, because if you stay, you're being ran into the ground, and you could eventually put yourself in the hospital, put in the casket, or you leave and your kids they may have disdain for you because of what you did, but you did it for your peace and your sanity and your health. Well, what do you do?
Most people are lucky their kids grow up and they start to understand themselves. I don't think that, you have 2 unhappy people in the house. I don't know if that's helpful. Most people are going to end up cheating anyways. I mean, that's what's going to happen.
Okay.
They're not happy, so they're going to find happiness somewhere. Whether be with the man.
But you're not going. But unless you're talking about the person who's okay with status quo, the other person don't got no time to cheat. The other person too busy doing all this other stuff.
Oh, you always got time to cheat.
You know what I mean.
You said you cheat emotionally. You can.
Oh, okay. Well, you mean like not physical.
Which is more dangerous than almost. Well, and people say different, but to me, emotionally cheating is worse than physically cheating to me. But so yeah, they have time for that, but it builds a lot of resentment. And you're going to end up getting divorced. Either where the kids turn 18, you're going to get divorced.
It's a real tricky situation, because you would think, like, I get it, like, every household isn't going to be like a 1-for-1 where they are lock and step literally on the whole education thing. Like, oh, I'm going back to school to get my master's degree. Oh, yeah, I'm going to go back to school to get my master's degree too. Not like that. I mean, like, as in, one's going back to school because their job said, hey, you go, if you do, you're doing the role, but the role requires you. We're going to pay for you to go back to school. And when you get that, you're going to be the proper title so you can get, and oh, by the way, this comes with, stock options and, $70,000 increase in salary and all these things, right? To where it helps you in your career and it's going to help everybody in your house, right? What do you do in these situations when it's okay when the other person is like, you know what, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
What do we need to do to make this work? What do you need what more do you need from me that I can take this load off where you can focus on that? Like, those are the easy conversations to happen. What do you do in those conversations to where you have a person that will do it, but they need to be poked and prodded to do it? What do you do?
That becomes annoying. the poking and prodding becomes annoying after a while. I have expressed what I want and you're not able to do it. I'm not gonna put up with it. But again, that's my personality. That's me. That's how I deal with stuff. I don't know because if somebody is, everybody's not goal getters. There are some people, and like, comment, subscribe. There are some people, and there is nothing, and don't let me sound ugly, there is nothing wrong with flipping burgers. Not a damn thing, because I did it.
No, nothing wrong with that.
So
I bag groceries.
There are some people who are just content with that. Like, that's all they want after life. They bring home a paycheck and they're doing the minimum, it's not the minimum for them, but that's good enough. That there are some people who are goal oriented. We need to do this. There's nothing wrong with it, but people need to stop having these damn surface level conversation when you get with someone.
There needs to be some understanding. If
Yes.
if that's what you're okay with, I'm trying my best not to sound insensitive, but I'm gonna call it getting by.
That's fine.
I'm about to say, am I wrong for saying that?
No.
Okay, because if you're flipping burgers, that's what make you happy. Cool, but to me, the way this market is, you got to be flipping burgers at 2 places.
You ain't never lost. Probably 3.
Maybe even 3. So that's getting by, and your counterpart may be doing the total opposite, where they are grinding, those are, both of them might be perfectly asynchronous with what's going on, and it may work for that household. It's hard for me to fathom that that's going to have long-term positivity, in my opinion. I might totally be wrong, but it's going to be hard for me to fathom that one person is doing everything under the sun, and they're leaving before the sun comes up, and they're leaving before they're leaving. And they're not walking in the door until the sun has all been down for like an hour and a half, and the other person is content with getting by.
I think you can be. I don't know who's right. I don't know who's wrong.
I don't think there is a right or wrong.
Right. There might not be, but I think people need to have conversations and like, will you support me? But that is really big, because if you don't support your partner with things like that, because they're not saying you need to go back to school, they're just saying support me during this time, and you should be a good grace. I can't even say it. Gracious. Yeah, I get partner, and you should help them. But to each his own. But you might lose out on a good partner, because when they start to think about it, well, you didn't help me A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So now I got my stuff, and now or my degree, and now I want to leave because you weren't there. It does build a lot of resentment, and you definitely don't. Yeah, you don't want that in a relationship. I just know for sure it's hard to poke and prod somebody to do better. I did it for 10 years, and it wears on you.
Yeah, you just hope that a person is observant, and and that's what you hope that you see when your kids and things like that. Like kids see your drive, you hope that the spouse or your mate do the same thing. They see this drive, they see this ambition, and they're like, I want to do anything that I can. I'm talking about your mate. I want to do anything I can to give this person the easiest runway to success.
Well, then, but also to ask.
Yeah.
But communicate. Communication is so important. We forget those things.
All right. So we're approaching 30 minutes. So we're going to try to wrap this up. Venus, you got anything you want to say before we wrap up?
No, I think we did everything. We appreciate you joining us. Yep. And we're going to do another live this week because we messed up on our audio.
Yeah, messed up our audio. So,
but this one has audio. We checked.
So we're more so just coming back to fix the recording that we messed up on.
Yes.
My closing remarks is pretty much what we talked about. If you communicate, then you really. Nothing can be held over your head if the lines of communication is out there and they understand and they comprehend what you're talking about. So if and when those conversations come down the road, it was understood.
Yes.
So as long as you communicate, whatever journey or endeavors or wherever life takes you, there'll be a level of understanding between both parties.
Absolutely.
So with that being said,
like, comment, and subscribe. We see you looking.
Yep.
Go on and hit that subscribe button.
Yep. Mars and Venus, we are signing off.
Bye.
Enjoy the rest of your evening. Well, wherever you just enjoy the rest of your day, evening, afternoon, wherever you're at.
There you go.
We out.
Bye.